Hi, thank you for watching today, Hope Beyond the Hurt. I am your host, Trisha Warren, and I'm excited to welcome you into my home where we're going to discuss the Word together. We're going to grow together, and I'm excited to share with you about hope for the hurting because I know a lot of you are out there and you are hurting. You have experienced a lot of pain in your life, and so I just want you to know you're not alone today. If you are hurting, there is hope beyond that. And I actually, where this material even came up in my heart to do was because I went through, my ex-husband had an affair and I was probably in my early 20s. And so that was really devastating to have that experience. And I had a young son at the time. And so I really didn't have any material. I didn't have anything that I could turn to. I honestly looked for books. I looked for materials that would help me, fast stuff that I could read, but I could only find these huge books of material. And I did apply everything that it said, but I didn't feel like any of it helped me. I ended up staying in the marriage longer than I should have. And I ended up staying, hoping that the relationship would be restored. And it wasn't reciprocated. There was no hunger on the other side for the relationship to work. It was just like kind of appeasing everybody in the situation to try to really make them think that he wanted to work things out, but he really didn't. And so I stayed in a very hurtful relationship for a long period of time, and it caused me a lot of pain. So I've actually written a book called The First 24 Hours, and it's to help people who are going through that situation. Maybe you're facing an affair, whether it be you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. It's a very stressful time and you may not know what to do. And so I didn't know what to do. And I really didn't have anywhere to turn. A lot of people told me to stay in that relationship, to just make it work. But that sometimes doesn't work. So I've written this book. It's actually being published right now. I'll let you know whenever the book is actually ready to be purchased online. But I want you to be excited about that because I know it's going to help people. I know it's going to help maybe even you in your situation with what you're dealing with, because affairs, they happen a lot. I read statistically that most divorces occur as a result of infidelity. And so it's a big deal. A lot of people are facing that. And I know for me, it was a thing that the enemy wanted to do to take me out. It was a way that he used to try to distract me from my purpose. And so be looking out for that book. I'll let you know when it's released. And I'm really excited about that. But in talking about that, that's what kind of gets me to the material today. I want to talk to you about distractions. The enemy is always endeavoring to get you distracted. He wants you to be outside of your purpose, not doing what God has called you to do. He'll try to distract you through hurtful relationships. He'll try to distract you through failures in your life. Maybe the hurt has come from you worked so hard to get a position at your job and then it didn't work out. There's so many different ways that the enemy tries to bring in hurt into your life. What he's trying to do is really keep you from doing all God has called you to do. So I want you to see today. I want you to see through those distractions. And we're going to discuss that today because it's a real deal. I was thinking, I watched this, what are they called, documentary about pickpocketers. And I know you're like, Trisha, what were you doing watching about pickpocketers? Well, let me just tell you, the reason I was watching about pickpocketers is because I was so intrigued that the reason that the people that they look for are people that are distracted. So they'll go tap somebody on the shoulder as they're looking around, they'll grab their wallet out of their pocket. They'll even take their wristwatch off their wrist. It was amazing to me to see them in action. Not that I'm trying to pickpocket anybody, but it was amazing to me that they were trying to steal from people. And how did they do that? They distracted them first, or they looked for people that were distracted. So that lets you know how the enemy works. He wants to entice you, introduce to you a distraction. And if he could get your eyes off of what you're supposed to be focused on, which is ultimately the Father and his plan for your life, then he can take you out. He can steal your goods. We talk about this a lot. John 10:10 says, the thief, what does he come to do? Steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to take you out. But he can't do that without your authorization, without you giving him place into your life. And so we're not going to do that today. Say that with me. I'm not going to give the enemy place in my life. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be this person that's easily distracted. I want to talk to you about a woman in the Bible. And I know you've probably heard this story so many times, but I'm going to share it with you again today because it's so powerful. But Jesus entered into a village. This is in Luke 10, and we're starting in verse 38. And it says, as they went, he entered into a village, and a woman by the name of Martha welcomed him into her house. And this is talking about Jesus. She had a sister called Mary, who also sat at Jesus' feet and listened to him teaching. But Martha was distracted. She was doing much serving. And she came to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister isn't here to help me? Like, she's sitting in here listening to you and she's not even helping me. And Jesus told her, Martha, Martha, you're anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is needed. And Mary has chosen that good part, and it won't be taken away from her. Now listen, it wasn't that Mary was doing anything bad here. She was just distracted. She wasn't doing what she needed to do in the moment, which was focus on what Jesus was saying to her. So many times we get distracted by all the things that we have to do. Moms especially, we have all of these to-do lists. We have to get our kids here, get our kids there. We're so busy we have to go to the grocery store, cook dinner. Dads, you're at work all day long. By the time you get home, you're done. You're tapped out, especially if you work in the oil field here. You've had a long day. Some of you wake up at 3:30 in the morning to get to, your rig, and then you come home, you're exhausted. You have nothing left to give. But listen, God has more for you than the just mundane, day-to-day, getting through the day kind of life. He wants you to be so full of purpose. He has such a big plan for your life. And that's what literally Jesus was telling Martha at that moment. Martha, why are you so distracted by all of these different things that really don't mean anything? What I'm saying to you is you need me. You need everything that I have to offer, and I've got it for you today. I just need you to focus on me. So let's look at this really fast, because you can get so caught up in your life that you lose track of what you're really being called to do. In 2 Corinthians 2:18 in the Passion Translation, it says, because we don't focus our attention on that which is seen, but that which is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. And that's what Jesus was telling her that day. Listen, Mary or Martha, I have what is eternal at stake right now. I'm presenting to you this opportunity, but you're so mindful about these mundane things that may just be distractions in your life. And so the word troubled, which she was troubled because she was distracted, means to disturb, to disquiet, to trouble in the mind. So today I want to ask you, do you find yourself in this position? Because that's how you can know that you're distracted. That's how we know that Martha was distracted. She was so bugged, honestly, that she interrupted Jesus in the middle of a church service and said, hey, get my sister in here to help me. That's crazy, right? But she was troubled in her mind. She was weighed down. There was so much pressure and stress. So let me ask you today, are you stressed? Are you anxious? Are you filled with all of these negative emotions? That's how you know that you're distracted. If there's no grace with what you're called to do, it feels like there's just constant pressure, then listen, it's time to sit down at the Master's feet, just as Mary did. She was listening. She was focused. She was intentional on Jesus. And he gave her her purpose that day. And Martha, we don't know what she did with what was said. We don't ever hear about whether Martha took what Jesus said and, applied it to her life. But we can take that and we can apply it to our lives. If you're troubled, if you're disquieted in your mind, if you're feeling all of that pressure, then I encourage you today to get at the feet of Jesus. Ask him to help you to find what the distractions are. Listen, moms, your kids don't have to be in every sport that there is. If your kids are really good at sports, I have one kid who's good at sports. He doesn't really play any right now, but he's good at sports. And so, you want to help them and you find what they're good at and you help them to get where they're going. But if they're not good at sports, I had another kid who we put in soccer, and it was like he literally was just out there picking flowers out of the field, waving at everybody as he's running, way behind everybody else. He doesn't even know where the ball is. So why did I get up that early and go to soccer when this kid doesn't even want to play? Sometimes we have so many things that we have on our plate that are unnecessary. So I want to leave you with this, just a few words of encouragement. 3 tips, okay? You have to find your focus. And you get that with time spent with the Father. Wake up early in the morning. And I'm not saying like you have to get up 3 hours early, but honestly, the most successful people get up 3 hours before they have to be where they're supposed to be. So if you really want to have change in your life, you're going to have to get up earlier. And you're going to have to spend some quality time with the Father on your face, determining, like, God, you have to hear Him for your day. And get a list out. Make a list of the things that you have to do. Even if you have to do it hour by hour, organize your life better so that you don't have any room for distractions. That's what I really try to do. I endeavor to put my life down on paper and even communicate that to my husband. Okay, right after work, I'm going to the store, then I'm coming home and I'm cooking dinner, and then we're recording tonight, or whatever the case may be. You have to know what your purpose is in life, and you organize your life accordingly. Secondly, when you're endeavoring to focus your life on the Father, you have to shift your focus. You have to determine, okay, I'm going to get the things out of my life that don't need to be there. Does my kid really need to play soccer? He's not good, and he doesn't really care. And so soccer, we're not doing that anymore on Saturday mornings. Whatever it is that's like pulling at you and causing you stress and anxiety and pressure, maybe you don't need to do everything that you've committed to do anymore. Maybe maybe you've literally had all these different commitments and the time for that is over. You need to know that and determine by the help of the Holy Ghost what to cut out and if there's anything else that you need to do differently, ask Him to help you to find what that is. And then the last thing, eliminate the distractions, which we just kind of went over that. So you find your focus, you find your purpose, you spend time with God, so you're shifting your focus. And then the last thing is you're eliminating distractions. So again, what is your focus? What is your purpose? Then 2, shift your focus. And then number 3, eliminate distractions. You may need to get some things out of your life that you don't need to be doing. And know that God, He's going to help you. He loves you so much and He has such a big plan for your life. But you're going to have to be intentional. It's going to take you really putting your eyes on Jesus to really determine and see, okay, what is my purpose? Then I'm going to shift my focus and I'm going to eliminate the distractions. So, hey, I hope this helped you today. Please follow, like, share, let people know, and comment to me. Give me a review. Let me know what you think. If you have any issues with the media, loading it or whatever, just let me know. I would love to connect with you. And I love you. I'm excited about your life. I'm excited about your future and all that God has for you. And hey, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for watching Hope Beyond the Hurt.